Hello everybody and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon, and get strapped in for some grim and perilous RPG as we're playing Zweihander, and we're back today for another episode of Blackhearts Return in episode 2. So let's go around the cast and crew, let's remind ourselves of who we are and who we're playing. Let's start over there with Kimmy. Kimmy, how's it going today?
Hi, just fine, thank you. I'm Kimmy, Miss Kimmy D85 on Twitter, and I'm playing Danny.
Awesome. And we have Mr. Ruben back with us tonight in full attire. Ruben, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me again. I'm the internet's Moxruby, MOXREUBY on all the social media channels. I'm playing the human Bravo, Nick Rattenberry. So hopefully I'll get to mix it up a little bit more than we... I got to shove some people in the first episode, but, when push comes to shove, hopefully I get to do a little bit more.
There was a total of 2 shoves and a whole city of people infected with a blood plague, but it was pretty good odds. Amazing.
I have my correct eye patch this week as well, which is nice.
Very important, very important. And we have Lydia back with us today. Lydia, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great. I'm Lydia, and I'm playing Polaris, who is an elf astrologer. Gonna read your sign. What's your sign?
What's your sign? I think we decided last week that Doxy's star sign was bitch, something like that.
That's right.
Very much enjoyed. And as a sidebar, Doxy is traveling. She's at PAX South today. She'll be back with us next week. So don't worry. She hasn't caught the blood plague or anything terrible. But we have Speedy back with us today. Speedy, how's it going, my friend?
Hello, it's going great. I'm excited to be back here in the grim and perilous world of Penumbra. I'm Speedy, you can find me wherever it's not so speedruns, and I am playing as Charlie Barber, the human barber who has a dark and bloody past and a darker and bloodier future ahead of him. I can't wait to see what he uses leeches for next. I'm guessing blood.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Fantastic. Yes. We have Emmett back with us tonight. Emmett, how's it going, my friend?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing great. It's Friday night in Phoenix. I'm sitting here playing role-playing games with all of you, and that's where I want to be. So.
Fantastic. Amazing. So, very briefly, I'll remind you guys a little bit of what happened last week on the show in just a few moments here. First of all, thank you to Stephen, giving Lydia there and Polaris a critical success. That may come in handy in today's episode. Yes, before we get started today, I want to thank and let you guys know a little bit about Zweihander RPG. If you haven't checked it out yet, you need to go ahead and do so. Their website is fantastic, and it's being sold on Amazon, Barnes & Noble at the moment as well, amongst a bunch of other places. Drive4RPG is fantastic. There are a bunch of links there in the chat, and if you're watching on YouTube, they'll be down below in the video description as well. It's the 100 role-playing game system, and it's perfect for a dark fantasy, grim and perilous kind of game, such as the one that we are playing here today. We're going to be getting into a bit more of the mechanic side of things today as well, with some rolls, maybe even a little bit of combat if we're unlucky. And we'll see who lives and who dies, because boy, is this game not easy mode like some other games that I've played before in Penumbra. We have a very real chance of killing people, which is something that I very much enjoy. And of course, our regular sponsors include FantasyGrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice. I'm going to be showing you guys some maps, some tokens, some images today, and they are all on FantasyGrounds.com, so get ready and prepared for that. And of course, WhalingGames.co.uk. If you play Warhammer or any other tabletop role-playing game, you can check it out on WhalingGames.co.uk. Mostly focused on the mini side of things, but it's a really great place to go and get some minis for your RPG games. And then last but not least, TabletopLoot.com sponsor the channel. When we hit 20 retweets on that tweet down in the chat, you guys get to decide something. In fact, no, we don't do that at the moment. That's just my old speech. Instead, we give away a set of Tabletop Loot dice.
I would like
I've had one sip of Guinness.
Sometimes I fall into a pattern. It's alright, don't worry about it.
Nobody even noticed. We'll cut that all in post. And of course, you can donate to Fellow Game as well. Editor, cut this! Donate to fill a game by giving players net 1s, net 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. Yes, need a reboot function on me. Sounds like it. But I'll remind you guys a little bit what happened last week on the show. The party found themselves in Ostwald, the capital city of this world of Penumbra. And they were having a grand old time in a wretched widow's inn until suddenly everything went terribly, terribly wrong. People started screaming outside. There was blood pouring from their faces and eyes, their skin turning inside out, as there was absolute pandemonium as a blood plague erupted within the grand city of Ostwald. The party decided to escape, making good their getaway with a fellow Blackheart by the name of Marie, so a sort of mercenary band of freedom fighters here in the city. After a long and terrifying run out of the city, they managed to find themselves and regroup with Jean Chevalier, the leader of the Blackhearts, outside of the city of Ostwald. And now they have decided to travel to the nearby city of Einem, which is said to still be safe. We'll see about that, because in between there and in between getting to Einem, they're going to have to travel through Arkenbury Forest, and it's a several-week journey, and the forest is said to be haunted. So we're going to get into that today. I'm very much looking forward to it. So are we all ready for some grim and perilousness, my friends? Are we feeling prepared?
Absolutely not.
As ready as we'll ever be.
It sounds awful. It sounds
It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Let's do it now.
Can you really be ready
Amazing.
for such a thing? It's like when you're at the doctor and they're like, this is going to be a pinch. It's like, no, you're just going to stab me with something. It's like, are you ready for it? Yes. Is it going to be
I
awful?
suppose.
Let's,
Fantastic.
there's a lot we have to pretend in a role-playing game. Let's
Exactly.
pretend to be ready.
Exactly. Let's get into the spirit of role-playing. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys, of course, this is our little world map here. You guys are in Ostwald on the far right, you're traveling down to Einem, but in the way between that, there is something of a forest. And so let's start off the scene. You guys, the campfire is dim and low, and dawn has already risen, and by the time that you guys wake up, it's midday. The small camp that you've made is broken down by Marie and Jean, the other band that are with them as well. Quickly pack up your tents, you guys get some breakfast, and they don't mess around. It's not long before you guys are on the road again. And you know that it's a several-week journey ahead of you before you reach safety once again. Thinking back on the things that you lost back last night in Ostwald, knowing that you need to get pretty far out of the city, either for reasons of staying away from the plague and anyone else trying to escape, the knights of Sir Wenton that may be still on the prowl. And so quickly you guys enter into the dark canopy of Arkenbury Forest, which stretches out almost all the way across this area of land which you guys are in. I'm actually going to try and show you here the map of the forest. Like so. Let's go to this one. So Jean and Marie roughly have a map that I can show you. It's probably not quite as detailed as this one, but this is what we're working with. And you guys are at the far east side, so the very first bottom segment down here in the east is where you guys are, and you're looking to get all the way across it. Area to the south is marshy and wet, and not easily traversable, so it's easiest to go northwards and round to pass through the forest itself. As soon as you enter it, it has a cool, dark, low sort of hum to it. The forest is very much alive, and some of you may have traveled through it before. Its paths are dark, twisting, somewhat torturous in nature, and it's incredibly easy to get lost in this place. Jean, Marie, and the men seem to be nervous as they travel through, and I've already told you guys to keep an eye out for anything that might be lurking within the forest itself, because it's said that the forest may be haunted, and, well, with plague victims abound, you can certainly never be too careful. So I would like to kick things off again just by having a quick traveling order of who's going where. Thank you, Zweihander. 75 votes, some fan favorite Blackhearts on Twitter. Congratulations, Polaris and Charlie. Thank you, guys. Awesome. I'm also going to pump up an extra nat 20 to Polaris and one for Charlie. So who who would be sort of on point, do you think? Is anyone feeling particularly brave today?
I imagine as a Bravo, I always feel particularly brave. So I will be as far to the front as the Blackhearts will allow me to be.
Absolutely. They're more than happy to have you up front, risking your life, but is as equally a dangerous position in back as it is in front. So certainly
Always put
Nick
your best
is
foot forward. Am I right?
absolutely. So is anyone with Nick, or where do we see everyone else in the party being?
I'll be by Nick because I don't trust him at all, and I'd rather be near him than in front of him, where he can get me from behind.
So Nick,
I want to be on.
traveling.
I basically want to be on Nick's bad eye side, like where he can't see. That's where I want to be. Right.
It's very literal blind
Nice.
spot. Okay. Who might be traveling behind him?
I'm probably
I'd
right
put myself
behind
in the
them.
middle somewhere.
Okay.
I would
Danny
hang by the
then.
back because I want to be keeping an eye out behind us for any sign of the plague following.
I am the plague.
Right.
Look,
And
Hordes of
Persephone, I
people out
assume,
there.
is on. Persephone, I assume, is on Polaris's hip.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would-
Yeah. Traveling together. She's quiet. She's keeping herself to herself. And for all intents and purposes, is with you guys, but not really with you yet. Now, something that I'd like everyone to do is we're going to make our first rolls. Because we didn't even roll last week. So we're going to make some rolls. And I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to bring up your sheet here in just a sec. And first of all, what did I save this? It's been a smart move to bring it up. Aha. We're going to make some tests
By the way,
here.
The good
Yes,
time
go
to
ahead.
mention that if you're interested in Zweihander and you maybe don't have the book yet, or you have it on order, but you really want to see what's going on Drive-Thru RPG, they've made a set of pre-gen character sheets that look fantastic and are easy to use, and you should pick them up because they're absolutely free.
Absolutely,
Right.
yes. Yep, I am looking at. There's also a fantastic concise rules reference that you can look at as well if you're in the GM seat. Or as a player, actually, I recommend having that up. Certainly for the first couple of games.
I
Awesome,
do.
let's see. Yeah, awesome. So I would like everybody to roll, and this is your primary aptitude is perception, and if you have any skill ranks in awareness, you add plus 10% to whatever your perception score is. Now, this is our first roll, so I'm going to walk you guys through it. We're going to roll a D100 in the fantasy grounds. You can either pick up 2 D10s and roll that, or you can have, if you have a couple of D10s at home, feel free to roll those, or you can do /dice space 1 D100. You're always looking to try and roll low in Zweihander. And the perception score, if it's something like 50%, you're looking to roll under 50. Or 50 itself is also a success. If you have awareness, any skill rank in awareness will give you a plus 10% to that score. So if your perception was 50, you'll be looking to roll 60 lower. And feel free to.
I'm going
Right,
to roll
looks
real
like
dice
it is.
because I got kicked out of Fantasy Grounds.
Ah,
I'm getting back in.
all good.
I'm so not used to D10s and percentile dice.
It gets to be really fun. Actually, some of my favorite systems are D100s. So many dice.
Okay.
So, Will, if I have I have a 44 in perception and I don't have any dots in awareness, but I rolled a 42, that's good.
That is a success, correct? Yeah.
Haha.
Haha! And now we've got a fun roll from Nick here as well, which I'll get to in a moment.
Yeah.
So it looks like Tomb. Looks like he succeeded.
I didn't know how to do the dice, so I just redid it as a
No, you're good. You're good. It's our first roll. This is meant to get it out. And Polaris definitely succeeded. Did Charlie succeed there on a 31?
did.
Very nice. What about Danny?
No, I rolled a 62.
Ooh, okay. Well, interestingly, so Nick, here's another thing that we can talk about briefly here. So Nick rolled a 66. So critical hits and critical misses. When you get matching dice, if you succeed on the roll and you get matching dice, then it's a crit success. If you fail the roll and you get matching dice, it's a crit miss. In this case, on like a basic perception check that I'm asking for you, it's no big deal. You know, you're not like fumbling with your sword and throw your sword away.
Right.
But Nick's really not quite on his game. Maybe it's his eye patch. Maybe he's just caught in his thoughts. But Nick is certainly not exactly with it right now. That being said,
I mean, he's pretty used to he's pretty used to the eye patch. So I think that it's just more new surroundings, new people. Just distracted.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Charlie and Polaris, though, the two of you certainly are keeping a good lookout around the forest, because dark as it is, even in daytime, it feels as though the forest is watching you, and it's very easy to conjure up ideas of great beasts that might live in this place, stalking and hunting you through the place. However, it's not the danger from outside that you're coming to notice most. Instead, it's a threat from within the band itself. One of the Blackhearts that you are traveling with is coughing. Coughing an inordinate amount into a handkerchief. And the two of you recognize this as he comes away with thick sort of globlets of blood on the handkerchief, to be a very worrying sign indeed. The man's name is Olaf. He's in his 40s, and he wears a suit of mail, has a sword on one hip, and seems to be struggling as you guys travel for the first, like 6 hours or so. The two of you maybe lock eyes and start tracking together that Olaf isn't doing so well. He's beginning to fall behind in the party, and he's kind of hacking and coughing up a lot more. By the time that it's evening, you become quite concerned.
And you two were the two at the back, so that makes sense that you'd notice it.
Are we like camped now, or are we still walking?
Still walking. There's probably a plan for the next couple of hours to walk and then make camp.
Sorry, everyone. Can we take a quick break? I'm not used to walking this much. I could use a quick break, if that's all right.
John kind of looks back at the group of you, says, how does everyone else feel?
I could certainly use a rest.
Very well. It is not the ideal spot, but let us make a camp here for the night. And he and Marie and the rest of the Blackhearts begin to set up camp. Olaf has sort of slumped up against a tree and is just quietly coughing into his handkerchief there on his own.
I would try to get Charlie's attention and try to get him off to the side and try to discreetly say, "I watched you watching him too. He's got a cough. He's got the cough."
Indeed. Seems likely that there's not a whole lot of flus going around.
I think at this point, there's not much to do for him. We've got to tell Marie or John.
As of right now, we don't know if it's spread. There's a chance.
We can't let it.
Aye. But if there's a chance I can help him, then I have to.
I don't know if covering him with leeches will get rid of this disease, but if you want to try.
He's not a one-trick pony. He might have other stuff.
I do have a whole surgeon's kit. I was thinking of using the leeches, though.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
I can see the leech look in your eyes.
You start looking really leechy.
I'll just kind of walk up to Olaf, leaned up against the tree, and say, "How you doing there, friend?"
Fine. It's just a winter cold I've been dealing with for some time.
Had it long?
Not longer than a week or so, I don't remember.
I take a look at like his hand or like his cuffs and see if there's blood on them. Coughing up.
Yeah, just taking one glance at his handkerchief. The handkerchief has been so like covered in blood that his hands are sort of like covered in dry blood now as well. So if you've ever had like a cut and then like, oh no, now it's all over my hands and then etc. That's kind of what Olaf is dealing with right now.
Olaf, you can't hide this from me. I'm a doctor, I can help.
I know what kind of help you think I need. I'll have you know I'm perfectly fine.
You're not fine. In a matter of hours, you'll be dead on the ground if you don't get help. And the rest of this crew with you. Come on, lay down, let me take a look.
He kind of looks nervously to where Jean and Marie are making the camp and says,
Fine, just don't tell them.
Understood. Patient discretion. My specialty.
so if you'd like to take a look at him, you most certainly can. His, let's see, heal is probably the best skill to test here. It's just as much an evaluation as it is trying to like ease any suffering.
Yeah. I just sort of, I'll like, open up his shirt, and so I can get a look at like his neck, his chest, and see if there's swelling, bruising, that sort of stuff. Examine the blood, and if it seems likely that it's helpful, throw some leeches on them. 54. No, my heal's a 52.
Oh, it's a close miss, so there are like degrees of success that we can sort of bring into account here. So it's not like a massively, wrong diagnosis. Here's what I'd give you, certainly, just by looking at him. A couple of things that you notice. First of all, his like chest is really inflamed, probably due to coughing throughout the whole day, possibly longer if what he says is true. His mouth has been like covered and stained with like blood, so his teeth are as well. There are no wounds on him from which he's bleeding. It's just coming from the cough. So it's not like, he's got an arm wound and, it looks like, oh, he had the blood plague, but no, it's just a cut. No. Your diagnosis would be that he is ill, probably beyond repair. Something that happens to these victims is as soon as they've started coughing, for as long as he's been coughing, their body just starts to shut down, basically. So he's going to start getting a fever, and then worse things are going to start happening to him as well. And when he starts bleeding from everywhere that you really need to start being concerned about where he is in relation to yourselves. You'd give him days. He would probably live for another couple of days.
Oh, that makes it so much worse.
Really?
If it had been hours,
Yeah.
I would.
That's crazy. That's
One of these things where it's like, you know, you get to a little kid and you're like, hey, make sure you guard this coffee cup. It's really important. Just stay there for a while, you know. Like, this guy's going to be around for a while and infecting everybody.
yeah. You'd give him 2 to 3 days for certain. He's not going to be able to like move as swiftly. I mean, already he's starting to, you know, it's like you've got the flu. It's just only going to start getting worse.
How far out are we from Einem?
Oh, 1 week and 6 days.
Oh boy.
If you make good travel.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He's not gonna make it.
There's also the possibility that they would never let him in the first place if he did make it there either, because plague victims get turned away. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, he should probably be lashed to a tree while we all drive away.
If I could see, like standing behind, if I could see Charlie like finishing up with his exam, I think that I would go up and, you know, try to ask him, what do you think?
It's not good. He's a dead man walking, basically. Not much I can do.
We've got to tell them. We've got to let them know.
If we tell them, they'll panic, and we don't want that. Sometimes it's best to deal with these things quietly. And he will turn back to Olaf. Walk over and kneel down by him. Say, alright, well, here's the good news. You're not dead yet. And you've got a good shot.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. My,
So I'm gonna be okay.
didn't say that. You've got a shot. My father did a bit of research on the plague, and he came up with what he thought was a way to fend it off before it, you know, fully takes hold. See, you've got too much blood in you right now. That's why you're coughing it all up. If we let go untended to, you're gonna pop. Blood start coming out of your eyes, your nose, your ears, everywhere. But if we let that blood flow out of you sooner, we can help prevent it.
So, have to take some of my blood?
Just a standard bloodletting. Nothing too bad.
Okay. Very well.
And I am going to take out my straight razor, and I'm going to make an incision along his arm and say, "Don't worry, patch you right up. Might start getting a little dizzy in a few seconds.
Oh,
But we've got to let out quite a bit to fend off the plague."
okay.
And I slice open his arm, And slowly he begins to bleed.
I think that Polaris would be watching, like, really close behind, like, what the hell is he doing?
Are any of the rest of us, are we able to see any of this, or are we all just kind of, because he's being pretty low-key about all
trying
of
to be,
it,
like,
right?
discreet in the back, right? Like, we wouldn't,
Yeah.
I think, we would have, like, pulled him off to the side.
I had a
It's
crit
possible
fail,
you
so
might-
I'm not paying attention at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
yeah. I mean, we can roll overlap perception into this as well. So like maybe Tomb, it would be someone that might notice. But you guys have been traveling for 8 hours. It's a long time to be walking.
I just want to make sure that what I think I'm seeing is actually happening.
Mhm.
Is Charlie simply letting him bleed out and die?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Truman's fine with that. He sees exactly what's going on, and he understands that it's necessary.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Did someone just give us bits for that? You're horrible people!
Adam's good folks. He's
That's
good
for Will,
people.
of course.
Yeah,
Thanks, buddy. I deserve
make
that.
it more interesting. That's good. I always give my tips to the game manager.
He.
And,
I don't
yeah. No. Go ahead. Polaris and John.
As he's bleeding out, I will tell him to squeeze my hand to help the blood flow and give him some comfort as he passes.
He'll kind of look up at you and says, I don't feel so well if I don't make it. My daughter's in Einem. Would you sell my sword? Sell my armor? Give the proceeds to her?
I'll do what I can.
Her name is
What's her
Katrine.
name?
Katrine. I'll find her. I promise.
Now, if you let this man bleed out for long enough, he's going to pass out fairly swiftly from loss of blood. So he does that. And then you just let him die?
Yep, that's the point.
Alright.
I think this is the first time Polaris has ever seen someone die, and so she's like internally like freaking out, but also trying not to let on to that.
Charlie will turn back to you and say, I hope that wasn't too gruesome for you. But it needs to be done.
It's a hard thing to understand. He was going to die anyways, and he could have killed all of us, but to watch him go like that.
It's a death free of suffering. That's what he got. It's the most I can offer in the face of this plague.
It feels like we did the right thing for him, but it's just a hard thing.
Aye.
Let's go wash you off.
And tell the others. Yeah, and I guess there's probably not anywhere to really wash off here. We've got some liquor that we stole, so I'll rinse off my hands with the alcohol that we took from
I grabbed
the
the
bar.
stuff that's flammable, so that's going to be fairly.
I specifically grabbed the stuff that was also high proof to be purifying. So
Right.
yeah.
I would
so once you
help
clean your-
Charlie get cleaned off.
Mhm. Once you clean yourself off, do you go and approach the others, or are you going to wait for someone to find Olaf?
I would approach the captain. What was her name?
Chevalier?
His name?
Jean, Jean is the sort of leader of the Blackhearts.
Yeah. I'll sort of approach him calmly, and if Polaris will come with me, I'd gladly have her by my side.
I'll come. Before we go, though, I'd want to cover Olaf's body up with like a blanket or something, just so we don't have like a sad, like bled to death man just laying there. I don't think she could stand that.
Yeah, so I mean,
not getting that
Jean,
blanket back.
Jean will say, Olaf, what's happened to him?
The plague, sir. It got him.
So quickly?
Not quite, but it would have. The signs were there. If I knew how to treat it, I probably could have, but I don't. And the fact of the matter is, there's not really anyone who can.
Shit. And probably the rest of the party would be hearing this as well, so Danny and Nick and Toon would be able to hear this conversation happening.
I would
probably at this point, yeah.
want to have this.
Right.
I would want to have this conversation with John, kind of in
You want to
private.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I would like
case,
him to be the one who tells everyone else. I don't want to be announcing.
Right. Hey guys.
Creative panic.
Could I pull Charlie aside and be like, what's the best way to deal with the body?
Traditionally, we have to pay respects, from what I understand.
Right.
Let's wait.
I don't know if it's got anything that's transmissible and if we should burn it.
I mean, to get to that conversation, John will tell the rest of the camp, and they are upset, but not with you. They're just sad to have lost a friend. And John will ask you, is there any risk that the rest of us... I mean, we traveled with him all day.
I won't say there's no chance, but if none of you have shown any symptoms yet, you're probably fine. But as we travel, with your permission, I'd like to run checkups on everyone every night, just in case.
Of course. Shit. Well, thank you for bringing this to me and dealing with the situation.
Mercy is all I truly have right now. Thank you.
He stomps off to tell the rest of the camp. So, fast forward to Toom and Nick and everyone else.
Fire is likely the best way to deal with it.
Okay.
Not too close to everyone else, though. I don't know if the smoke would carry it. Honestly, I can't say. Probably not, but I'd rather not be breathing him in regardless.
Well, the question is, do you want to leave him on a... Do you want to take him, put him on a sled, get him away from here, set him on fire, or build a pyre here, set it on fire, and we all leave?
We've only just camped for the night. It'd be best to send him away from here.
Alright. Let's see if we can get a sled and a horse to take him out.
That should work.
And we'll try to do this respectfully. He seemed like a good man.
Only problem with the
Polaris,
horses is that
are
there are
you-
no horses. Just as a side point.
Oh, I keep hearing the horse in the soundtrack.
It
You think there's a
sounds
horse?
like there's horses. There's
Right.
just wild horses.
Maybe there
with
are in
deer.
the distance.
So let's,
They're at my house.
Not ours.
Yeah,
So-
I'll...
then let's just build an honor guard of Blackhearts to have him taken out. Like, we're going to need some people that can lift and get him on a sled and get some rope between them and the body, right? So they can drag him out of there.
rope between them's important. I wouldn't want anyone touching his body if they can avoid it.
Right. So let's take that to Chevalier and say, look, here's what needs to happen next.
Right. Good plan.
Okay. Yeah, so you approach Jean. So how do you suggest we dispose of the body?
Drag him somewhere away from here and give him a funeral by fire.
Okay. Everyone. And they proceed to, yes, with rope, begin to pull him out of here. How far would you like to travel away from the camp itself?
Not too far. I don't know, a few hundred meters probably. And in the direction we came from.
Yeah, it might be safer to go out a quarter mile, dig a hole, pull it into it with a sled, and then start the fire, at least so it's underground, like a quarter mile away.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like on ground level for a couple reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
We're in
one,
a
the wind,
forest.
two, the light. Like, you could burn the whole place down. Also, if there are creepy things in this wood, we don't necessarily want... If they're going to be attracted to something, it's okay if they're attracted to a corpse. I prefer them not attracted to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Nick would chime in at this point and say, why are we doing any of this? Why do we care?
Well,
Why are we
He's-
going off into the woods alone with a dead person, risking whatever's out there, splitting away from the Blackhearts, trying to dispose of a body in a different part of the woods?
Well,
We're leaving soon.
aren't we taking a couple Blackhearts with us, like the stronger guys? Because we need some bodies that are stronger than us.
So there is Jean-Marie and now two others.
Okay.
We're camping here for the night. I don't want an infected, plague-riddled corpse
We can
near our
sleep far
camp
away
with nothing
from.
else.
We can sleep far away from Olaf. We don't need to go half a mile away.
Well,
You're
if
risking
Don't
too
you think
much going off into the woods by yourselves.
Don't you think we're risking more by having a plague victim lying so close to us?
We had a plague
There's only
victim with us for
few
the
of-
last day and a half.
are you saying
But now
we bury it, set it on fire here, and decamp?
Certainly don't set it on fire. As soon as smoke starts rising from here, it's going to attract attention.
But we'll be a quarter mile away from there by then.
Nick, I don't mean to insult you, but going out in the forest may be dangerous. It may even bring death. But the plague will bring death. Certain.
And you think that the amount that we've been exposed to the plague already isn't enough, but there's going to be some point during the night near this dead body where it will be enough and will tip over the scale, and then suddenly we'll all be infected?
I think
I'm
I'd
not a
rather
doctor.
not take the chance.
You're the
You're right.
boss.
You're not a doctor.
Oh, snap!
You're burning. And
Marie
I'll
and
lead the
John
group
are
out there to...
Sorry, I missed what you said, Danny.
Marie and Jean are staying, right? It's other Blackhearts that are...
It's kind of up to you guys.
I would imagine one of them at least would go.
All of them would probably go. I think Jean
Yeah.
would definitely go. He feels responsible for the death of one of his soldiers, so yeah, Jean plus one other. And all of you, or is anyone staying behind in the camp? Because, to be fair, it may not be a 6-person job. I mean, if you wanted to just send Jean and his other person, they could probably go alone. They're two strong people, they could drag along a body.
Nick would go with whichever group looked the weakest. I would want to divide the power of the group evenly if we're splitting up.
So
if only 2 people are going, then he would go as well.
I'm going with them.
I would say Polaris is 100% going. She wants to see that through.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
think
Charles-
that's more.
Okay.
And Toom
So Danny,
probably just
Nick-
wants to light the fire.
He's
an anarchist, not a pyromaniac.
Same thing.
Okay, so 2,
So I would-
Charlie and Polaris, certainly. And then,
Yeah, I would stay
Danny-
behind in that case.
okay, Danny, do you want to go with the body group or stay behind the camp?
I want to stay behind in the camp as long as either Jean or Marie are staying behind in the camp. I just want at least one of them there.
Marie will definitely
If
stay.
Okay, if they're both going, then I'm going. But if one of them's staying, then I'm staying.
Okay.
So, Toom, Polaris, Charlie, Jean, 1 black card, leaving Marie, and then a black card behind in the camp. About a quarter mile. Is that how far we're heading out into the woods? Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
And Jean and the black card will pull in the body, so you guys are the eyes and ears. And Jean will say, keep an eye out. It's dark. I don't know what's out here. Could be something lurking in the darkness. Strike up a torch and keep an eye peeled for us.
Okay.
Of course.
So if the 3 of you could again roll me perception awareness checks. So you're testing your perception, that's your big score, and then if you have a skill rank and awareness, you add +10 to that score. So the 10 is actually a 0, so that's a 50 for Lydia.
Great. Yep. Nope. Didn't do it.
Okay. Good rolls from Speedy and Emmett.
Yep. It's
Okay.
good for me.
Yeah, strikes right. Split the party. So 2. In the creepy woods. Alright, so yes. The 2 of you cannot shake the feeling that something or someone is watching you. As you press out with Jean and his man, there are moments when the both of you will flinch over to the left, having sworn that you could have heard a branch snapping underneath someone's foot. And then several moments later, we call for a pause. There's no more sound. If you went to investigate it, there was nothing there. But it seemed like something is out there. Now,
Can I
go ahead.
roll perception on this? Do you want to assign that a difficulty? Like I'm responding to the check that I can kind of see something's going on, but I don't know what.
Yes.
Well, you're just trying to roll below, right?
Yeah, you're
There's
trying
no
to roll below.
difficulty.
Go below your stat.
Yeah, so it's considered to be
right,
like a,
right. But I just rolled that 1 perception to find out that I feel that there's something lurking. Do you want another roll?
Right.
With
Right, I
difficulty
see.
to find out what it is.
Okay.
If there is
great
something.
Yes, if you would like to investigate further,
will.
it will be another awareness roll, and this time we'll have -10 to your skill,
Right.
so it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Oh no. No. No, I'm oblivious. No. Thank God that didn't match.
So you go to investigate the sounds, but you can't see out. I mean, this this gloom and darkness almost feels unnatural now at this point in the cold forest. When you're stepping out with a torchlight, you can only see several feet in front of you. It's very easy to make out, trees look like people in the darkness when you're suspecting something's there, and you don't spot anyone.
Nope. I'm sorry, guys.
So eventually, the group of you will come to a point that John and the rest of you feel comfortable with as being far enough away. And he'll say, "Here, good enough for everyone?" Right. Well, let's do this. Now, back in the camp, Danny and Nick. Marie sits down, sort of uncomfortably at the fire and twiddles with some twigs, setting them ablaze, while the other Blackheart keeps watch. What are the two of you doing in this uncomfortable moment, I guess?
I have my deck of cards out, and I'm just like playing whatever the Penumbra equivalent of solitaire is.
And what about Woodman?
I didn't see those back at the Wretched Widow. You play?
Yeah.
I do too. We'll have to gamble sometime. There's no use risking when you don't have to, though.
Well,
Why did you tell those old men that they mattered?
they were about to die. That's what I'd want to hear in my last moments.
And Nick will just sort of nod and look at the fire.
And they did matter. We all do. Equally.
I admire you for believing that.
It's not always easy.
How long did you know Olaf, Marie?
5 years. On and on.
He was a Blackheart for that long?
Blackheart for free, and before that, he was a town guard.
Town guard for which town?
Einem.
I know.
His family lives there. He has a daughter, Katrine. Still lives there, I believe.
How long have you been in these forests? You've been out here often?
I've traveled several times through Arkenbury Forest. All of them have
They
been
say it's
uncomfortable.
haunted.
Well, perhaps. After all, who's not to say that Olaf will not haunt these forests now?
But you haven't seen or been attacked by beasts or ghosts here before?
She sort of casts a anxious glance around. No. But I've seen things that have,
Seen things.
or at least thought I have, that have worried me. I do not think that there is no such thing as ghosts.
Well, hopefully we won't have our first run-in anytime soon.
The forest, does it not feel like it watches us?
I'm keeping an eye on things.
Just the one.
Feels like it's keeping an eye on us.
And when Danny says it's just the three of us at the fire, right? Is there anybody else there?
Yeah, there's a Blackheart, but he's on watch somewhere else.
Okay. Maria will let you in on a secret, and then I'll lift the eye patch and show the functional second eye, and I can move the eye patch to the other side or something along those lines. But I'll make eye contact with her and say,
she
"Always
looks like." Yeah. No, she looks like you might be an idiot.
yeah, always keep two eyes open." And then I'll put it back.
She'll shoot a sort of glance over to Danny, which says, "Really?" Alright. Now back. It keeps him happy. This is perhaps the worst kept secret. So, back in the body camp, body party. To Jolly and Polaris. Is someone in charge of setting fire to Olaf here?
I think that's clear.
I would defer. No. I would absolutely defer that to Chevalier. He's his commanding officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll sort of sigh with a heavy heart and take the torch from you. Olaf was a good man. He died before his time. And that's all he has to say, really. You can tell that there's a sort of deep well of sadness, regret within John as he sort of tosses, and presumably you guys have formed some light kindling to make the body go up a bit easier and faster. Maybe there's some lantern oil or fluid, to help the fire go, and the blaze very swiftly begins to crackle and burn. At the same time, as you set fire to Olaf, somewhere behind you in the forest, you hear a and for Danny and Nick, Marie, and the other Blackhearts, the sound is a whole lot closer. The group of you keenly hear this coming from somewhere close to you in the forest. I'm not going to show you a map. And we're going to jump over there for the stream. Now, I've placed tokens for the rest of the party members at the top right, as you guys are somewhere away and traveling back. So, to the friendly camp which you left behind. And get out of the way. Beautiful. So basically it's a letter for your names, and then these two tokens here are Blackhearts. And I'll describe to you in just a moment what is coming out of the woods towards you. The scream is unnatural, hideous in nature. As you guys can, we show this here. Exiting the woods are three figures who wield wicked-looking axes in their hands. From beneath strange masks, which are white, pale in nature, you see blood pouring from the skin of each of these creatures, what could only be described as creatures, despite the fact that they look humanoid in nature. And they stalk, now silently, after the keening wails which the three of them unleashed, towards the camp with deadly purpose. Now, you've never seen anything like this before. It is quite terrifying. Marie curses suddenly. The other Blackheart draws his sword. And it's time for us to roll some initiative. I'm going to say that the other party members, whoever's playing, are a couple rounds behind and can join in combat in just a moment. So, initiative. I wrote it down somewhere. You roll a 1d10 and you add your initiative to that number.
Great.
Trying to remember what my initiative is on this. There it is. Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
so my initiative is a 10. 'Cause I rolled a 2 and I have an 8.
Sweet.
Mine is a 14.
Nice. Okay.
I'm rolling 1d10 and adding my initiative to it, right?
That is correct.
Where's your initiative?
It's on. It may be on your second sheet between encumbrance limit and movement.
Yeah,
It'll be. And to
I don't
lift it
know
out
where
Plus your
from.
perception bonus.
Yeah.
I got it.
on my electronic one.
Oh my god. I don't know how to add. You guys crazy?
Join the rest of us. That is fun.
I get my handy calculator.
5 plus. All right. Tomb, do you know what your initiative score was there, my friend?
8.
8. Beautiful.
Not really, no.
He's next. Charlie, what did you get there, buddy?
Got 11, I think you put in Fantasy Grounds.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Yep, I see it. Charlie, 11, and then Polaris.
14.
14. Hey.
That's right.
Hot damn.
Hey.
So perceptive.
So, on the third round of combat, the rest of our party will emerge from the northeastern side. Let me place you there. But as things stand, we have our good friend, the Blackhearts, who's been on watch, who's going first. Then it's Nick, then Polaris, Charlie, Danny, the masked figures, Tomb, and Marie rolled really badly, and she's going last. So,
Aww.
quick
Come on,
run through
Marie.
what combat looks like. I know, right? Quick run through what combat looks like. So, turn is 10 seconds long, and you have 3 AP, which is action points, per character. So, if you have 3 AP, how do you spend them? Well, you can spend them by moving, attacking, casting spells, and you can save them, and that will give you the chance to parry on the opponent's turn. So, for instance, I might move using 1 action point, and I might attack using 1 action point, and I'm going to save my 3rd one so that when the enemy attacks me, I have a chance to parry it away. And that's all we're going to sort of play with for today's first combat, seeing as we can add in rules as we continue to get familiarized with the system. And we'll walk through how to roll attack rolls and how to do damage as and when we come to it. So, the black card's going to go first, just to prove as an example for us here. So he's going to move over here, using an action point, and he's going to attack as well. So he's looking to roll D100 here, and he's looking to roll low. He rolled a 44, which luckily for him is a hit, because it's lower than his weapon skill, which is your combat plus your martial melee, or your martial ranged, or your simple melee, or your simple ranged, depending on what kind of weapon you're using. Okay, so now he gets to roll his damage. I'm going to say that these guys don't have any AP ready for reactions to parry at this point, seeing as they just ran through the woods towards you for that whole turn. So he's going to roll a d6, plus his combat bonus, which is a 3. His combat bonus is 4, and he deals 7. We then take a look at the damage threshold. which is also somewhere on your character sheet. We worked this out in character creation. I remember we're doing this together.
Yep.
And minus that is 3 points of damage that he does. So he slices at his opponent, who has this just gigantic axe. I mean, this thing is just wicked. It's almost like an executioner's axe. So kind of what you'd imagine to be sort of unwieldy for real combat, but somehow these creatures don't seem to mind hefting them around. But the Blackheart screams and manages to get a cut through. As he looks closer, he can see that beneath the mask and of all the skin that is on show, there is just oozing blood from every sort of pore of this creature's skin. And now, Nick, it is your turn, my friend.
Is the layout of the tents and the bedrolls accurate?
Yes.
Sweet. So I'm sitting by the fire there. I'm not going to be fancy. All right, I'm going to move, and I'm going to move my dot there, right? And we'll move there. Now I have a pike, which allows me a 1 yard reach.
Cool. So we'll say that. So it's similar to reach in, like, you know, if you're familiar with 5e, makes you to be able to attack from further away, basically. So you can reach them from there.
Great. So I will have sort of spun around and be spinning the pike, and then I will jab it at that one right in front of me there.
Amazing. So you're going to test your combat plus. I think your pike is a martial melee, if I recall.
My pike is a martial melee. That is correct.
Awesome.
It is a bladed martial melee, so it's sort of swinging
Nice.
instead of stabbing. It is a two-handed weapon as well. So I will use my +5 to combat. So I have +5 based on, I have a 42 in combat. I get +1 for being a human. I also have a skill in martial melee, and I have an advance in combat. So does that mean that I have...
What are your scores?
Under like a 70 something?
Okay, so you add your combat to your martial melee. And if you've got an advance in martial melee, then it's like a +10. So just add those two scores together. So make one final
right.
number.
100. I roll
Got
a 66, which I believe is good enough.
That's
Awesome.
a match.
Yep,
Because
that's
I needed to get under a 72 or an 82, one of those, I
awesome.
believe.
That's a critical hit,
Nice.
sir.
So that'll be a
that's gonna be
critical
a
because I doubled. Nice.
You do blade.
That's
Excellent.
the second time you've gotten a 66. I'm pretty sure you're the devil.
You may
Sure.
very well be.
It's not
It
6
depends
6.
how that
He's-
works.
He's 2/3 of the devil.
That's canon now.
2/3 of the day. Amazing. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna roll down to my critical hit index here. But first of all, figure out the damage. So the damage is first of all you roll a d6. That's the first one you can do.
Roll a d6. This is 1d6. Ooh! Well, there's the devil.
Nice.
Oh my good lord! Now the coolest
We did
thing
it.
well, to me one of the coolest things about this game is that the dice explode. So what does exploding dice mean? When you roll a 6 on the d6, it's a fury dice, which means that you roll it again. And if you hit a 6 again, then you roll it some more.
Oh!
Oh my god.
I am the actual devil.
What's up, Lucifer?
Oh my
god.
Holy shit! So many clips.
This is amazing.
I thought
All right.
being a Diabolist was Persephone's thing.
So 19 is the damage, apparently.
Holy shit! This is an amazing Amazing.
Wow.
Brother's
I will-
dead. His uncle's
I
dead.
will never roll that good in any game ever again.
Man, that is incredible. So now you add your combat bonus to that, which is the small number, which for Nick I think maybe a 5.
With a 5, yes.
So it's 18, 19 plus 5, 24.
Now, what did he get because it was a critical?
So a critical hit. These are generally contextual, and a GM will announce any additional benefits or penalties tied to a match. Your talents and professional traits may confer other effects as well. So we're going to say this. Nick, as you rush into battle with this pike, taking this guy's damage threshold, he is no longer amongst the living, question mark? How would you like to... how would you like to do this? What does it look like as you slay this creature?
Right. So it's Nick is a bravo. He's very flashy and proud with his movements. So he will have spun around with the pike and moved it like a bow staff, keeping the momentum of the heavy head of the blade of the pike as it swings around and just catching the front of the front half of the neck of the being in front of him. The being coming out of the woods, not quite ready for the light change with the fire, but Nick, with the eye patch, is able to very quickly see in the dark and then see in the light and establish which way, dilate his eye in the right way. And so he's able to aim precisely and exactly in the spot that he wants, and turns this poor sap person into nearly headless Nick. And so Nick will almost decapitate, but sort of make a Pez dispenser out of this particular villain.
Kappa has been detated as you slice at this creature, and this is something else compared to the poor plague-ridden victims that you saw before in Ostwald. This is unlike anything you've seen before. It's swift. It's very much in control of its movements, of its actions, but it is not swift enough to move away from the slice of the pike, as you described there, and it falls over, blood spraying from its neck. So we skip Glarus and Charlie as they're running back. Danny, you watch as a Blackheart engaged in combat with one of these things, and then Nick slays one of them almost instantaneously.
Fucking hell. I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out one of my throwing knives. So that has a load of 1. So that took one of my 3 APs, correct?
Awesome. Yes.
Okay, so that's 1 down. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it at, can I ping a guy? The one, I don't know how you ping him. Not the one engaged with the Blackheart.
Okay, yeah, top right, yeah. That's fine.
The range is 6 yards. I assume that's within 6 yards. If not, I'll move closer.
It's like 6 squares, basically.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, you're within range.
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let loose. Throw. So I just roll a D100. I don't have any of the fancy crap that Nick has. So I'm just trying to roll below my combat percentage.
Your combat plus either your martial ranged or your simple ranged. I have a feeling that Frying Dagger is just a simple ranged.
Yes, it is simple ranged. Okay.
Cool.
So I'm going to do 100. Nope.
All right. It whistles out into the darkness. You're unsure if it hit something out there, but it certainly didn't hit the one that you were going for.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
Okay.
find that.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Danny?
No, I'll save my last action to dodge.
Okay. All right, that swings things over to the masked figure. This one's going to move in here against Nick, and the other one's going to swing in at the Blackheart. See if he can't cause some damage. And oh boy, he caused some damage. The creature swings in swiftly with the great axe that it's wielding, managing to find a weakness in the Blackheart's defense. And you hear the heavy thunk of the blade connecting with the Blackheart's armor. And he kind of poofs as he's hit. Meanwhile, this other guy is going to try and hit Nick.
Now, I have both dodge and parry.
That's
what of that can I use?
Well, he rolls his attack roll first, and he fails. Now, I believe if he succeeded, you can defend his reaction for 1 AP. So melee is parried, and ranged attacks are dodged. Or if you have a shield, you could parry.
So I can't parry if they just miss?
I believe that is the case, yeah. I can go read that one up in a moment, but it basically just turns away the blade. You don't get a chance to riposte and attack him back there. But, I mean, for the sake of the narrative, though, he actually got a critical fail because he rolled an 88 and missed, meaning that something bad happens for this creature as well. And I think, maybe it is that you get to turn away the blade with the, either with the pike somehow or just with your own outmaneuvering him, leaving him open to attack. And everyone, I'm going to say that everyone who gets to attack him next turn gets a +10 because he's like open himself.
My trait as a Bravo is that if I parry, I get to make an opportunity attack. So if I don't get an opportunity to parry, then I don't get anything.
I will look that up in between now and next session. I think the way I'm reading it right now is that you can defend his reaction if it hits, but I'll make a note of that to look that up here in a moment.
I believe that's correct.
Okay, that is its turn. Tomb's running back. Marie, do something. She's gonna run over here to try and help out Nick. And we'll see if she's any good, or if she continues to fail. Yep. She's even with a +10. She misses. So she cries for the Blackhearts, but does nothing. Now it heats up around 2. Meanwhile, back at the body burning, you guys are presumably running back to camp as fast as possible. So Charlie, Tomb, and Polaris, are you guys running back, or what are you doing?
Running back. I mean, if that's what it seems like we would do, if we were screaming from the party. Yeah.
I don't know if I...
Could we get to any of them on this turn?
Next turn is when you arrive.
Okay.
Yeah, the one thing I'm not sure is how far I can throw a bottle bomb. And it looks like
60.
A distance of 18, it looks like.
Okay. 18 yards.
Bad idea.
Yeah, but I want to throw it away from the camp. I just want to cause a distraction.
Oh.
Okay.
My guy's an anarchist. He's all about strategy. He's like, all right, if something's going on, I'm going to make something bigger happen.
Okay. Well, you can certainly take an action when you arrive on the scene if you like. Right now, you're probably too far away to cause distraction.
I'm just checking it out right now and seeing what's going on. But I'm certainly not running towards anything. I'm just checking things out. I'm probably moving in that direction, but I'm not like whoo,
Yeah, absolutely. The Blackheart swings and misses up against his opponent on his turn, taking us over to Nick.
These guys suck.
Yep.
Why are these guys so bad?
Welcome to D100 systems, my friend.
So I have an ability. I have a talent. Can I use a talent?
Is it juggling?
What is
My
the talent?
talent is-
Usually-
My talent is fencers. My talent is fencer's panache. So I'm going. So when you take aim and then make a successful melee attack, I am going to force my foe to resist a disarm. And I have to use a weapon that qualifies, which I do with my pike.
Do your bike.
May I do that?
Sure. Yeah, it sounds like
Great.
you can.
So I will use one action point to take aim.
Mhm.
I will use a second action point to further take aim, because I think I can use 2.
You very possibly could. Yes, I think you can.
I believe it's 1 or 2.
Mhm.
So I will use 2 action points to take aim, and then 1 action point to attack.
Awesome.
Great. Let's roll some dice, or roll a dice. 100. And that's under. Great.
Okay.
And then it's.
So he's open and defenseless, so he's not able to. Oh
Man.
Gee,
Right.
Well, of course.
I just can't be stopped, apparently.
Leave some combat for the
Brutal.
rest of us.
Yeah. Right. All right.
It's fine.
And I believe
Juggernaut.
if you get to do the disarm, is that correct?
Yes. So they have to they have to resist disarm.
Okay,
Which-
disarm when engaged with foe. You make a coordination test. If successful, your foe may attempt to resist by making a successful coordination test. So you roll a coordination.
Okay. And my coordination is a D100.
D100 plus your so it's agility plus coordination is what you roll.
Okay. I rolled a 24. My agility is. Yeah. My agility is 38.
Awesome. He gets to roll to resist and fails his coordination test. So his weapon is thrown 3 yards away. So his axe. Describe to us what it looks like when you throw this two-handed great axe 3 yards off from this.
So
creature's
Nick
grip.
hasn't stopped spinning. The blade of the pike sliced the first baddie across and made the Pez dispenser, and he faced the direction of where Marie was coming from, put the blade above, and then kept the momentum as a baseball swing catches the notch of the axe and throws it away.
Awesome. The creature kind of hisses at you, but all right. So that's all of Nick's AP used up. Polaris.
Interesting fact, though, I do have lightning reaction, which means that I have 1 extra action point to be able to dodge or parry.
Awesome. Good to know. As Danny, it is your turn. Nick is one-manning this.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I'll my movement is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna come around here, and does that give me good enough line of sight with the monstery guy that's engaged up top?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead and draw another throwing knife. So that's 1. I will do, since I'm not afraid about needing to parry because they're already both engaged in melee, I am going to actually take aim to add the 1. So I'm going to use 1 AP to add a +10 base chance to my next attack.
Awesome.
And I'm going to go ahead and throw the knife. So. Oh, shoot. No. This one.
Yeah.
So close.
Hey.
Ah,
Nice.
Hey, there it is.
okay,
That's a crit.
so I roll a d6, and my damage on my throwing knives, because they are finesse, is my AB, so it's a 3. Okay, So I'm gonna roll 1d6. I kind of understand this.
Yeah, you go. You're getting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
6.
Once you get going, it's actually pretty grokkable. It's really intuitive.
That's a 5, and the throwing knife is the 3 for my AB, so 8.
Awesome. So 8 minus 3 is 5. Where would you? It's not a killing blow, but certainly a wounding one. Where does Danny throw the dagger?
I was going to bring up too that the throwing knives are weak, so this couldn't be a killing blow. I don't think, no matter what.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Only moderate or serious injuries.
Nice.
Again, because it's only moderate, I feel like I'm aiming for the head, but I probably get like the shoulder, and I'm like, yes,
Right.
oh, okay, yeah.
The creature goes as you sink a dagger into it. Anything else you'd like to do with any remaining AP?
No, that's all of my AP actually.
Beautiful. Okay. The first masked creature on his turn, fighting the Blackheart, who's just been punctured by a dagger in the shoulder, slices at the Blackheart on an 11, which is going to be a critical hit. And you watch as with the combat bonus, this creature brings down the two-handed axe. Basically, it does this while it's looking at Danny, as it sort of it just rips out the dagger from its shoulder and then just cleaves down into the Blackheart and just crumples him down into the ground with one swing. And that's where he dies. And it looks towards you and starts moving towards you. It's gonna get there. That's all I can do though.
Oh, I didn't save my dodge.
The other one, well, it's gonna have to go and try and get its axe now, isn't it? Which is gonna cause attacks of opportunity from Nick and
That's
Marie.
right. Sure is.
He's gonna try and start getting over to the axe. Why don't you guys roll me attack opportunity here?
I'll stick it with the pointy end.
She misses. I thought she rolled a 38. Now it's an 83. Oh, baby.
Mine hits.
Love it. So we'll
So
see damage.
I roll damage, yeah?
Yeah.
Not a 6 this time, just 5.
Amazing.
And does that add to my combat or just 5?
Yeah, combat bonus.
Okay, so 5 plus 5 is 10.
Awesome. This creature, as it turns to go, how do you slay it?
So as it turns to go, it starts heading away. And speaking of heading, I just stick out the pointy end and it runs past the blade, creating another gash halfway through a head. And I barely even watch it happen. I'm turning back around looking at the one that's going at Danny.
Amazing. Dies where it stands. Alright, that is its turn, taking us to 2 is about to arrive, and Marie is going to try and help out Danny, but with these rolls, don't expect too much. She has not rolled anything lower than 80 today, so no,
Awesome.
that's even with bonuses to sneak out from behind, etc., that's not going to help her out. Alright, top of round 3, and this is where you guys are going to arrive. The Blackheart is dead, so it's Nick's turn.
It's my turn?
AP refresh, your turn begins.
Alright. Is there any way that I can... I guess probably not. I want this thing to attack me and not Danny. So can I use dirty tricks to try to do that? Or should I just try to hit it hard and hope that it looks at me?
There may be a specific thing that you could do. Dirty tricks might help you. Gotta find that one here.
I thought that was like sticking sand in their eye and stuff.
Right, that's
Yeah,
like
when
kicking
engaged with
sand in their
foe,
eye to make them blinded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to distract it other than me doing the thing that I do.
You could try like a takedown sort of move.
Yeah, sure. Let's do a
or just
takedown.
attacking. Yeah. Okay. So.
No, I wouldn't do a takedown. I would just do the thing. I would just poke
Okay,
with the
do the
super
thing.
pointy end.
Yep.
Okay. So, still one movement, still a whirling dervish of death and hatred. Gotta get in the chat box here. There we go. D100. That ain't gonna do it. I don't think. So my combat is 42 plus 10 advance for combat, plus 10 advance for martial melee, plus 10 for human. 42, 52, 62, 72. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it.
Okay. I don't know if, do you get the plus 10 to your combat score just for being human?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I added plus 1 to your combat bonus, but it's been a while since I looked at it.
To the combat bonus. That's what I.
So your combat bonus is separate from your combat score.
Right. So my
so
combat
when you
score
roll-
is 42. So I see what you're saying. So
Yeah.
So my combat bonus is 5, but my combat score is 42.
Right. So 42 plus your martial melee is 52 is what you're looking to get.
Right. And then plus I have an advance in combat, which would be 62.
I think advances were 5%.
Oh, we're
or
5?
am I
Okay,
forgetting?
so in any case, it's gonna miss.
Okay, all good. And effective fallback is 5 pounds. Glorious melee. Yes, indeed, thank you, my friend. Awesome. That is anything else you want to try doing here, Nick? You move to
Now
attack.
I can only attack once a turn, right?
That is correct. Yes, max 1, I believe.
Okay. I will. Let's So I can try to intimidate this guy, right?
You
do
can
you
certainly
think?
try.
Let's do that. I'm gonna make an intimidate test.
Okay.
I'm
I'm going to give you a minus 30 to that one because this creature
Okay.
is not easily scared.
Works for me. So I will target with the one creature, hopefully making it -1 damage and peril threshold once per combat. So I will look at that beastie and said, "Do you want to end up exactly how your friends ended up? Look at me."
Alrighty. See what you get.
Nope.
Okay.
Not gonna do it. Not paying attention to me.
Yeah, it's not paying attention. You're not even sure if it's registered the fact that its other companions died or not, or whether it even cared.
Yeah, give it a shot.
But it's worth trying. That is Nick's turn. Polaris, you're right on the scene, and just put you here.
Okay.
Okay. it's happened.
I'm here. I'm gonna try to do a thing. So I'm gonna try to cast a spell.
Yes.
So the distance says any one person I can see.
You can definitely see it.
Okay. So I guess I'll target this one next to Nick.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a magic missile. So I have to successfully cast the spell. So that's an incantation check, right?
Yes, so it's an incantation. If it's petty, you get plus 10 to it.
Okay. Cool. I'll take it.
Awesome.
All right. So
49.
Oh, okay, so my willpower is 52, and I have like 2 bubbles in incantation, so I did it.
You did it. Okay, awesome. Does this spell allow for a resist roll, or is it does it not mention that?
After successfully casting the spell, one foe suffers. It doesn't say that they can resist it.
Awesome.
I don't know
All right.
if they can.
Now, does it say what happens once you cast the spell? So it's said when the spell takes effect.
Yeah, so they'll take 1d10 plus WB, so plus my willpower bonus.
Yep.
Willpower
damage?
bonus, is it?
Nice.
Wonderful. Okay, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
that's awesome. A lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage.
Okay, so 6 plus 6 is 12, right?
Amazing.
Yes.
In base 10, yeah.
Awesome. And please tell us, this is the first time we've seen a spell in this game. And for some of us, it may be the first time you have ever seen a spell before. Now let that sink in for a minute. It's not like people go around casting fireballs around here. So this is like fucking witchcraft for a lot of people. And
Well,
Alaris
it's literally witchcraft, right?
is literally witchcraft for a lot of people. She's a registered mage. You don't know that, but so first of all, Alaris, what does the spell look like?
So I think Polaris will just kind of run up and take a second to kind of register what's going on, get the sense that everyone's in danger, and I think it's just being like a petty magic spell, something that she's probably done 1,000 times practicing. Runs up and she's like, oh shit, and then she just kind of like flurries her hand out, and then just like a silver missile will fly out.
Awesome. And there are some very surprised shouts from Marie as that happens. At the very least, how does Danny and Nick react to a bolt of silver suddenly hitting this creature from seemingly
Have I
nowhere?
ever seen this before? Magic? I mean, I'm relatively well traveled, but this is not exactly,
Sort of like a one in a million kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah. So I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my Bravo knife dance kind of thing, but this shakes me out of that, and it's just like, what in the world just happened? As the illuminated missile, firework hits the guy.
Awesome.
What the? Polaris. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Charlie, it's your turn, buddy.
Can I run up to him within melee range and still have an action?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you should be able to get there.
All right, cool. I'm gonna do that. I've got my my straight razor out, and I'm going to take a slash.
Okay.
That's 43 simple melee. Oh my god, my combat is a 42. So that's a
check.
miss.
I know in Withrop you get +10 for the enemy being surrounded, but I'm gonna have to check that. Maybe I'll just make it up. Let's give you a +10.
We are I was just gonna say,
I hit.
You do what you
Wait a
want.
minute, I'm the GM.
I like it.
Yes, I think I basically just do. Oh, that's so much nicer than Withrop.
I'm pretty sure that is a thing in the book. If I had read about
It is. Yeah, I
combat
just found it.
correctly.
Yeah, I adjust the difficulty rating depending on what I think. So sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So simple melee, is that a D6?
Yep. Most attacks are a D6, I think, plus your combat bonus.
Alright.
Oh, baby.
Nice.
Oh, didn't mean to do that. All right. And a 4, so that's 10 plus my combat bonus of 5. Also, he's bleeding. If that's not enough to kill him,
Yeah.
or he needs to make a toughness roll to resist bleeding.
It is dead. I wanted 2 to get a roll in
Great.
here. Sorry, buddy. His friends are just too damn good at murdering. So,
Well, I mean, the other thing is too, like, Tomb's kind of point of view is the best way to win a bar fight is to be 5 miles away from the bar. Like, he's been around like violence and fights enough to know that he's not likely to run into the middle of it anyway. So it fits very well with his character. He'd just be like, "This is interesting. Let's see what happens." And he just saw this happen, and he's like, "Okay, that missile thing was super weird.
That's like bombs, but at will. Yeah, for 2. Awesome. Charlie, describe us how you kill the last of these creatures.
Are they wearing like armor and stuff?
They wear a sort of like leather piece of armor, but there's a lot of skin exposed, which is just dripping blood. It's like they've been flayed.
Yeah. I'll find a sort of gap in the armor, like right in the crook of the elbow, and I'll reach my blade inside, sort of jamming it in sideways, and then just barely rotating the knife enough so that I can actually get a slice in, and then rip all along the bicep until he's bleeding through it.
Nope. Ugh.
God, that hurts me.
He drops his weapon and just slowly collapses.
This game is so gross.
That's just me. You can't blame the game for that. The game is gross. I'm also very gross.
Hate play it. Okay.
Oh, the game.
Hate the bar.
Now, here's what happens. As the combat draws to a close, the rest of the group rush into the camp. Jean and the other Blackheart as well. As you realize that you have defeated, at least for now, these creatures of darkness that have erupted from the woods in ambush. As this happens, Jean runs back in. It's like, what the hell happened? And then he swiftly looks over towards Marie and Danny and Nick, and then all eyes turn on Polaris. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
I was kidding about the witch thing.
I'm registered. It's not illegal.
There's a registry?
Of course there is.
Of course there is. I mean, okay. Well,
So you're registered spooky battle crap? I don't understand.
What's not to understand?
are you registered? And Nick will also shout and point at Persephone.
She didn't do anything.
She's there. She's friends with this other witch
Persephone
person.
I imagine Persephone would tell you to go screw yourself.
She does.
John
Okay,
goes and looks at
whatever that
creature.
is, I'm glad you're on our side. And he skulks off. Toom skulks off.
I'm gonna run over towards the dead soldier and see if he's dead. I imagine he's slain, but
He is, the axe is running through, almost down to his sort of clavicle. It's grim.
close his eyes.
Marie, what the hell were those things? Are there more of them out there?
We don't know, and we don't know.
I
Did
can take
they
a look.
look like plague victims? Like, did they
They were
like that? I guess I wouldn't really
They're all-
know.
They're
It's
unlike
okay.
any
to find out.
that you've seen. Any of the
They
plague
weren't
victims that you
prophets.
saw before in Ostwald were sort of normal people suffering, and then the people died. So they were, not this. These creatures had an intelligence of their own, and seemed to be able to move with a swiftness unlike any victim of a plague. That being said, their entire bodies are like dripping with blood, as though it's like constantly fresh wounds, as though their skin has been flayed and they're still alive. There is something incredibly unnatural about it. It's certainly, it feels like the plague, but it's unlike any plague victim you'd have seen.
Has their skin been flayed? I mean, does it actually...
Do you want to go take a look?
Well, so my knife is in that one, or did he pull it out and is he like holding it?
He did. He sort of lurched it, like pulled it out, gave it a lick, and then threw it down.
Gross.
I'm
You can take a look at
down
this
for that.
again. There are parts of it which are like exposed, you go to pick up your dagger, and yes, you would say that their skin has been flayed, but sort of like from top to bottom. No one should be alive like that.
Now I'm afraid that I'm using meta game knowledge. Did Charlie tell us about to the extent to which his dad performed? He didn't.
I think that's a secret still, yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know that.
I mentioned
And-
my dad a couple times as like a guy who had theories about the plague and the
Okay, but
bloodletting.
we don't
would help.
know.
That's about all I said.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I just think this is real fucked up, and I'm gonna get my well, it's fucked up either way, but I'm gonna get my throwing knife and just wipe it on the dirt, and I don't know, take it over to the fire, because oh god.
I think that after inspecting these things a little bit, just confused, she's never seen anything like that, I think she would go to Charlie and ask, like, is this what you say happens when you have too much blood in you? Is this what happens?
I'll be honest, I've never seen it in person before. It could be. It doesn't look like the plague victims we saw back in Ostwald, though. I can't say for sure.
I've seen Mario pipe up, and I've seen plenty of people die of the plague, and they never looked like that. Those things moved quick. They screamed. You hear them hissing? And what's with those fucking masks?
I will.
Good question.
Can I like?
Mask off?
Yeah, I was gonna use my pike to try to pick a mask off.
That's so gross.
Yeah, no, you can. You can like peel one off. It's like they've been stitched in, so it's not.
Oh,
an
they've
easy
been.
process.
Gross. So I will. I thought it was
Love
just
it.
like a mask, and I will try to pull it off with my pike, and it like sticks. Ugh.
It like
Yeah, you need
peels. Yeah.
You need a thread ripper.
I will stop doing that. That's gross.
Those things are not natural.
You
It's
think?
evil.
Well, the forest is said to be haunted, right?
By ghosts and fairies, not anything like this.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
Maybe
we just
now.
Yeah. Just roll with it, Marie.
Roll with it. Those things knew when you were gone, ambushed us. As soon as you were out there, far enough away. Then they killed him. They would have killed more of us if you hadn't saved us.
Every forest has predators.
Marie doesn't look comforted by that.
Tim is not a very comforting fellow.
I'm
She's
just going to
excited.
calmly and quietly, as this conversation is going on, go up to one of these beasts and sort of carefully try and surgically take off one of these masks and
Oh, gross.
examine one of these things.
Mm.
You don't have to look. You're fucking nerd.
I'm not looking.
I will. Nick will head back towards the fire and keep an eye on the darkness away from the group.
Nick, can you come with me to help me look for my other knife?
Sure.
I only have 3.
Polaris is right, I think, gonna stand far enough behind because she's also scared but also curious. So I think she's gonna try to watch Charlie with that mask.
I'll grab a half-lit log from the fire. All right, let's go, Danny.
Like the night before this, I saw that star constellation that was supposedly comforting and happy, and now this is happening. So I think I'm just curious about like what can be foretold.
Maybe
Okay.
the stars lie. Maybe the stars lie a lot.
You don't know. You're not an astrologer.
Nope.
So,
Everybody
Charlie,
else lies.
you remove the mask and peel it away. There is not much more than a skeleton on the face. There's still like flesh and blood, but it's mostly just sort of clinging to the edges of bone. The eyes are still in their sockets, looking out. This person would have been dead long, long ago.
I'm going to sort of pick through the bodies and look if they have any sort of personal memorabilia or if they are just beasts.
They seem to carry nothing
Anything.
on their person of any sentimental or personal value.
Charlie, what do you
Meanwhile,
think?
Danny and Nick find you guys do find a dagger and return back to camp.
Thanks, Nick.
If anybody asks, Marie did all that.
Marie already thanked you. Thank you.
I'd rather not attract too much attention. You're welcome, though.
Since when?
Wrong kind of attention.
Oh.
Okay.
Polaris, I can't say what to make of this. They're creatures of blood and sinew. There's honestly, as far as I can tell, no way that they should have been alive. Hearts still beating or walking around. Any man in this state would have been reduced to a puddle, nothing more than a lump of meat on the ground. I can't fathom it, personally.
I've never seen anything like this. I've read books and books of things, and never this.
Same.
Marie will say,
It's
all I know is that earlier today there were 10 of us. Now there are 8 of us. And we still have a little less than 2 weeks to travel through this forest.
move faster with fewer. Should add these bodies to the pyre. And any of you who had your weapons make contact with these things or spilt their blood on yourselves, wash it off as quickly as possible. Can't say that it's the plague for sure, but not much else that brings this much blood.
You, and she looks towards Polaris. Do you know witchcraft? Is this not witchcraft?
This isn't witchcraft. I've studied what I do. I've studied how to cast spells, but only for defense. This isn't witchcraft that I know.
Then let's take the bodies. From now on, we go together. Agreed?
Agreed.
No more splitting up.
I wish I'd thought of that.
Just burn the rest. Come on. Don't get too close if you can avoid it.
I think Polaris would try to pull something up over her mouth and nose and do all she can to help. I mean, she's small and not strong, but I think she's really shaken.
Mhm. So the rest of the evening is spent burning the rest of the bodies in the same manner, and then returning to camp. John suggests that we double the watch for obvious reasons. So he says we'll take watches in pairs. And who are the first two? I guess Jean and Marie will take the first watch. Who would go second? And we'll take it in twos.
I'll take second watch.
I'll go.
Two and someone else. Is that Danny?
I will. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'd want to
And
go at the last where like I could see like the last bit of night, like where like before the sun came up, just to see the sky.
Okay.
I would also take that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna realize anyways.
We have a black card going in the middle there. So Toom and
What's
Danny.
the other what's the other Blackheart's name?
Let me find out for you. His name is Lucas. He is a red-headed man. He looks a bit younger, actually. He's probably in his 20s, and he looks pretty shaken up by this whole experience. So Toom and Danny, first off, you guys have about maybe like a 6-hour watch together, 6-hour watch together. Do you spend any of that time with one another talking, or is it sort of silent watch?
Toom is happy to talk if she wants to.
Yeah, I'll talk during a little bit. I've never really talked to two. So.
No one ever really wants to. So, did you know about her abilities? Referring to Polaris.
No. That was amazing, though, right? You can just study and learn that?
I think I could study for 500 years and never be able to do that. Ever.
Oh, maybe there's probably more to it than just that. Just studying, otherwise everyone would do it, but... I mean, it's terrifying, but, like, really, really incredible.
Not everybody has the resources and the time learning.
Well, I mean, I spend most of my free time reading anyway.
What do you read about?
Everything. Mostly folklore. One of my sort of talents, people pay me to read them stories or to tell my own stories that I come up with. I'm not so good at those, but an
Is that how you
excellent.
made a living before all this?
Yeah. That, gambling, and my companionship in general.
This little group we have seems like quite a gamble.
We're not weeping blood from every opening, so seems like less of a gamble than not being together.
Well, if there's a risk and reward, I think we're currently on the reward side. Maybe we'll hope it stays that way.
Oh, we have a lot of nights ahead of us in this forest still. I've traveled through it before, actually, when I left Arkenbury.
What was it like last time?
Peaceful.
Did you travel during the day or at night?
During the day.
Everything looks different at night. Did you want perception rolls to see if we find anything while we're guarding?
Yeah, let's have a perception check. An awareness perception.
Don't we have a baseline thing too?
Maybe like a passive episode
Yeah.
routine as you guys are on watch.
Yeah. Well, I'm just in case I roll really terribly. I'm just playing forward. The inevitable. Oh.
It's like a success from Danny.
Yes. It's below my perception, right?
Yeah.
But yes.
The forest seems quiet, but pregnant, as though waiting for something. But there's no signs of movement out there. It's no longer feel like you're being watched quite the same way as you were earlier. And your watch passes peacefully. And over to Nick and Lucas. Nick, is there a point where you chat with the young Lucas? Or
Yeah.
keeping quiet? Okay.
Lucas, right?
Yes. Yes.
How old are you, Lucas?
I'm not quite sure. I've 24.
Same. Yeah, I don't know how old I am either. How long you been out here with Blackhearts?
Not long. Few months, maybe. I thought
sign
it
up
would be
as
a good
a-
way to get away from, well, being a baker. My father was.
You're a baker?
Well, my father was. I would have been as well. That was back in the city now, though. So
Sure. I started out young as well. Younger than you, even. It's difficult trying to be on the road all the time. I'm sure it can't be easy for you.
it's not. It's, to be honest with you, it's terrifying. I mean, first everything that happened in the city, and now this.
Yeah.
And
It's going to be
everyone's-
okay, though. It's going to be okay. We have each other.
I suppose you're right. I shouldn't give in to despair.
Just trust in Jean and Marie. And, you know, as much as you can possibly trust somebody you met less than a day ago. We'll keep everybody safe. We'll try our best at the very least.
Marie said that you slew 2 of the creatures.
Marie did most of the work. I helped.
I've never killed anyone.
You'll have your chance. And when it comes, just be ready for it.
I'll try.
You have to have a sense of realism out by yourself. With
Realism?
others, realism. No one deserves anything. You have to earn it. You have to take it. You have to scratch and claw every second of every day for survival. You can't rest on your laurels just because you think that it's going well. Doesn't mean that that can't change at the drop of a hat.
Oh.
Just be prepared. That's all I mean.
Right. Well, I'll try and be prepared. Hope those things don't come back for us.
You ever done any squiring when you were younger?
No, only
No?
baking.
You just
Sean is
reminded me of
teaching me.
somebody for a second.
Oh. So Sean is teaching me how to wield a sword. He says I'm good with it.
Good. Do you have a favorite fighting style?
But I have a sword. And a shield.
It's a good start. Those will help. You'll be fine. I'm here for you. If you ever want to learn anything else, you know, I'm here for a friendly ear. For as long as we're with y'all.
Yes. Well, thank you, Nick. I feel a lot better.
Good. Good. Hopefully someday we'll hang that sword up on the wall and the shield behind the counter at your bakery.
It's gone now, but maybe in Einem there'll be a chance. Start over.
You'll have a new one.
So a awareness perception check from Nick, please. Oh, Lucas rolled well too.
Well, that's a good one.
Dang. The two of you are extra aware after your words of warning, but the night passes by quietly, stilly, and you pass over the watch. Last person on watch are Polaris and Charlie. Nick and Lucas head in for the night. What will the two of you do? The storm is beginning to rise.
If everyone else's watch had passed uneventfully, I think that I would take mine, but I would also take out my notebook and maybe start flipping through it and looking around, seeing like what's up in the sky, and if I can make any like if I can see any signs from that. Also, just I think just enjoying the quiet.
I would say, you can definitely get away with sort of taking a look up into the skies. Maybe roll me a sort of folklore. Sounds like a fun skill to test. Pretty often underused.
What skill is that?
That is an intelligence folklore.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah, figured. You look up into the last of the stars while you can still see them. You make out the sign of betrayal, treachery.
I would turn to Charlie. Have you ever looked up there? What do you see when you look up?
I see a bunch of tiny lights across an empty void.
That's all?
Not much more to see. Patterns in them, I suppose, that you can make out, but never much care to learn. My head's been firmly planted on the ground.
I see so much when I look up. I feel like it will tell me how my day is going to go, what direction the world's going to take, but lately it's just felt off. Like I haven't seen what's coming. And now the sky just looks angry to me. I don't know why any of this is happening.
There's not always a reason for everything that happens. as much as we'd like to see it be. Sometimes I just
I've
do.
always thought things could be told ahead of time, and that if you look hard enough, you'll find the answers. And I don't want to question that, but the last few days, I don't know what to think.
Well, after seeing what we did earlier, I can't say I doubt what powers you have. But I'd worry less about what you see up there. Focus on what you see around you. It's not good, any of it. Sometimes you look at the stars and find comfort, but no. Right now it's best to stay on your toes. Expect the worst, and you'll never be disappointed.
Charlie, when were you born?
In about 19
No, I mean this
seasons
season.
now.
Was it cold?
I think you know this. I don't remember.
Thank you, Sean, so much for that cheer there, buddy. Appreciate it.
It was in the spring, I believe.
You need to get back there. Being born in the spring, you should be looking for a happier time. You should be looking for rebirth. And I think in your heart you do. You try to make people well again, and just these last few days, it's been hard on all of us. Just try to think back to that. Your roots.
I try to think back to my roots. I do. I want to help people. I do. It's not always so simple, though.
It's not. This is my first time being out on my own and having to use skills that I've studied and try to make sense of things without a library surrounding me. And it's hard, but we just have to remember to stay true to who we are. Remember our seasons.
Try to keep that in mind.
Well, the
You see
sun's
anything in the
coming up
stars
now.
for me?
Tonight?
Yeah. Anything for a spring child?
The sky's mad at us tonight. We'll look again tomorrow.
Sounds like you got the right reading.
Perception of
And yep.
Fine.
Nice. Polaris, you notice someone moving towards the camp as the sun is rising. It's a person who is slim. It suggests a figure of a woman wearing long robe and cloak, which is a deep, dark red, and wears a mask on her face. Not the same kind of mask as the creatures that you saw last night, but instead the mask of a crow. She moves towards you with a preternatural swiftness, and yet there's also a grace in her step as well. And as she approaches and you've spotted her, you hear her call out and say, "The stars are mad. For good reason, elf. At this point, Charlie, you would hear this as well.
I would kind of whip around and... Where did you come from?
Tilts the mask. I suppose you could say I came from the stars.
Then why are they mad?
Who's to say I'm not mad too?
It's the first time I've seen a crow before. What brings you out of Arkenberry?
I'm not allowed back there. I haven't been for some time.
Never knew they were the vengeful sort. And I didn't know much about them. What earns you that right?
Come to speak with you.
With
Who?
us?
Yes. With you. The rest of your
You've been
companions.
listening this whole time?
Yes. I have ears.
Well?
Looks between the two
Would you
of
like
you.
us to wake up the others?
Yes.
I'll start going around and shaking people awake. And as I get to Nick and to the Blackheart captains, John and Marie, I'll tell them to be cautious. I'll just try and surreptitiously whisper in the air.
Yeah, the party then arise, and you see this woman before you. She's tall, wears a beaked mask like a crow, similar to a plague doctor's mask, long, deep red robes. Thank you, Charlie.
Much obliged.
So I was explaining to your companions, I have come here to speak with you all.
Do you have news?
So speak.
I do have news. These creatures came for you last night. They are not the last. Not by far. There are many more of them. And they are being created by something or someone.
What are they?
Oh. She looks to him up and down. Something far greater than you or I. Something darker. Something old. Forgotten. Back with a vengeance. I've managed to trace their origin back to a town not far from here. The one which you traveled to. Einham. In your language? Within the city, there is an infection. Not plague that you have come to know, but an infection far worse. Corruption. Soul. This agent of sinew works their evil within the city, and we must find them. This is
We?
why I was sent here.
You were sent
I
here.
am in need of mortal bodies to assist me in my holy quest.
If we're mortal bodies, then what are you?
Something else.
I don't trust you.
Good. That would make you an idiot. Perhaps it is better that you fear me.
I do not fear you.
I fear you a little bit.
Why do you need our help in particular?
You are capable. And there is something about you. Something written in the stars, I suppose you could say.
You expect her to just spill all of her beans? Come on. We all wear masks. What do we get in return? I'm a businessman.
While you carry with you the blessing of the crows, you will not come to fall from this plague of blood.
And in exchange,
you find the source of this corruption within the city and bring it to my attention. You see, there are places that I am bound to not travel.
Such as?
The city.
Why?
There are complex reasons
I'm a complex guy.
beyond your comprehension.
You'd be surprised what I can comprehend.
I am bound to remain here, as is my penance. This is my home, and I may not leave it. Those are the rules.
Okay.
Who made your rules?
What are sorry, go ahead.
Who made my rules? We did. Crows. Very, very, very long time ago.
What are Nick and Marie doing at this? Or not Nick. I'm Nick. What are Marie and Jean doing?
They are nervously watching this exchange and sort of gripping their swords. But she doesn't seem to be interested in them.
How do the crows protect us from the plague?
My question as well.
Again, if I told you, you would not understand. Furthermore, does it really matter? How?
Yes.
Especially since you were kicked out of the crows, you said.
Not been.
There's a cure for this plague I need.
Crows. I've merely been let loose from the roost.
Did you mean that to rhyme?
I have my ways. They are not dissimilar from Polaris's. By offering you a piece of my own will, of my own being, will protect you. For the plague does not feast on all.
A transfusion?
Polaris, you're registered something, right?
Yes.
Is what she's saying making any sense to you?
To be honest, a little. Not so much that she's registered for anything, but the sky tonight was reading treachery, and if that's what she's come to preach, then I believe it.
Okay. Tim has no further questions.
What's your name, Madam Crow?
You could call me Princess of Red Carnage.
It's a good name. I like it.
It was chosen for me from birth.
You're born a crow, then. Are they all?
Were you not
Were you-
born the way you are? Human,
Or-
male.
Born again
Are you
this
not
way.
human?
All of these questions. They are irrelevant to you.
I agree. I will step forward about a yard away from the crow. Look her or them up and down. Sort of try to see under the mask a little bit, if I can.
Yeah, you can make out red eyes underneath the mask.
And then I'll nod, turn back to the group and say, what's the alternative?
The alternative is we don't do what she says.
You think that's going to work?
I think we go to the city. If any of us gets hit by the plague, we know she's lying. We don't help her.
No. I think we need
No?
to help her. She's
I do
here,
too.
and I understand how she got here. If she's reading the same things as me, and there's an evil in this forest. You've seen it. We've all seen it tonight.
Sure, but I don't know
And
that
if
it's her. But if we stay safe from the plague, we'll know that she's for real. And then when we get to the
But if
city, we
it's-
can help her out.
Evil multiplies. Just think, it would be that and the plague, and that's it. That's it for everybody.
We're going to the city anyway.
Yeah.
Chum is just saying if any of us fall from the plate
Sure.
And we know she's
between that
fine.
time, then we
We
know
know
she's
that her
fine.
Is that
Protection
really
isn't
the way
working.
that you want to test this?
No, we're
Don't
going
Is
even
to
that
know.
what you want to be?
anyway, Polaris.
We can test that
We
now if you
just-
like.
Show me what you mean.
This one. And she looks over to Marie. She already carries it with her. I can smell it.
Charlie looks over intently.
I was gonna say, have her check her out. Check her out, Charlie.
And Marie, it's kind of almost whimpers, and she's like, I small cough this morning. It's nothing. Nothing at all.
Marie, I thought we agreed. I'd be doing checkups. Let me know if anything was wrong.
Princess of Red Carnage says, and so the stars, they do not lie. Treachery, betrayal, it finds us all. If
All right,
she
then.
dies in the next few days, you will know.
If
Will
she
she get
dies in the
better?
next few few days, then we'll know and we'll regret it.
If she has
Jean
the plague,
Chevalier
then
is the
take
leader of the
Uranus.
Blackhearts. He makes the final decision.
Jean
Are
says,
you asking
well,
for the Blackhearts or are you asking for us?
Princess of Red Carnage says, this one here is irrelevant. Grand scheme of things. I have no interest in his word. Only yours.
Oh, that's
I stand corrected.
If Polaris says that there's an evil that we can fight like this, then I trust her. And I'll take any opportunity to avoid the plague if possible. If we can save even one life, even just Marie's, it's worth it.
Then you are in agreement then.
I'm in agreement
So-
with Charlie. Maybe not you so much, but I'll go with it.
I think that reading the stars and seeing treachery and betrayal, the obvious thing would be you would be that, but that's not the case. It's something else. We're to trust you.
Did the
I
stars
know
tell
it.
you that?
I just know it.
If I wanted you dead, would you not be dead?
I believe that.
So there's your answer, I think. What's next?
Now that distasteful process of bargaining is over, and you continue to Einem, I will make clear the roads, drive away those creatures as best I can. And then you find whatever it is within the city, which is causing this havoc within my woods. And then together, we purge it with fire and fury.
Okay.
Fight any disease I can.
Very good.
Fire, fury, or leeches, whatever it takes.
If you're traveling ahead of us, how are we going to find you again? Or do we just wait for you to contact us?
Why would you need to find me again?
Once we've found the source in Einem, you said we will defeat it. Are you not part of we?
When the time comes, I will be there. Until then, we have no need for further communication. It is very taxing for me to have to deal with those such as yourselves. No offense.
Imagine why.
None taken.
None taken. I'll learn your secrets someday. Not today.
That day, Charlie, will be the day you die. That is not a threat.
It sounds like one.
I do not dictate the stars. I merely read them. If you do not like what they say, that is your problem, not mine. Now, if we have an agreement, I will leave you to your travels.
You want to stay for coffee? You want to hang out? You want to have some more chats?
I do not
Take a
wish to
load
be in your
off.
presence a moment longer.
Awesome. Same. Well, this has been great. Go away.
With
Please.
pleasure, Nicholas. She turns, begins to stalk her way off into the forest. You all breathe a sigh of relief for a moment. And I think, at that point, this is where we'll end tonight's episode of Zweihander Blackhearts as the party. A very interesting conversation with someone with a fucking awesome name. So,
I already forgot it. I'm just gonna call her Red.
Just call her Red. Yeah.
Red Carnation? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my friends.
Better.
Hopefully you guys there at the chat watching the show have enjoyed tonight's game. If you did, please let us know. If you haven't followed the channel yet, hit the follow button and join us. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a like, drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys what you're thinking about the show. Oh boy, has this been intense again today. I cannot wait for you guys to get to Einem, to get to exploring. And I'm super proud of everyone for a fucking awesome round of combat where you guys
Yay.
totally wrecked the opposition.
Just as much damage as Marie did. So.
Right.
Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, let's
Yeah.
Blackout.
Great, killing it.
You're just as good.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what you're
The,
talking about. Marie was the one that handled that fight. That wasn't.
I don't like attention.
We definitely
Oh.
saw at least some of that.
Yeah. I'm interested
Marie
to
was
see
a
when
lot
that
like
conversation
Marie.
happens, but
Yep. Yeah, that's it was a whole thing, but hey, let's go around the cast and the crew then. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you wonderful folks online? So Kimmy, how was tonight's game, Kimmy?
That was crazy. God, I am so curious about this princess lady. I can't wait to see where she takes us. I am pretty much on Twitter at MissKimmyD85.
Awesome. Fantastic. Emmett, same questions for you, my friend.
Yeah, I had a good time. It was fun. It's like, wow, is Charlie depressing?
It's true. He really is. I keep wondering about it. Like, maybe I should give him something nice to talk about sometime. Has not happened
Nah.
yet.
we have to take it out of you. We gotta pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to give Charlie something to be hopeful about, I think. I think that's the way it's got to go. I am
His
on
strong
Twitter.
birth is super hopeful.
I'm on Twitter at M_initiative. You can follow me if you want. You'll find a bunch of Trekkies there. So make friends with some Trekkies. I'm really happy. This is really good. Also, I think my camera was better this week. So I'm feeling good. Like being like people. Hope our friend gets back from PAX. Safe travel.
Absolutely. Can't wait to have Doxy back with us next week for more witchcraft and wizardry. Great stuff. Speedy, emo lord of the night, the century, I don't know.
Yeah, Charlie's dark as a person, and also, I don't know, describing scenes of intense blood and gore, and blades is a thing that for some reason I enjoy too much, and
It's
I
creepy
can't really
in
say
itself.
why.
My favorite bit was when Polaris is like, "What do you see in the stars?" And Charlie's like, "A blank void of nothing."
Perfect. Exactly right.
Fucking hell.
Yup. That's good old Charlie. Good old upbeat Charlie. Friendly neighborhood barber Charlie. Yeah, I'm sure you want your face shaved by him.
Yeah,
Just-
that razor.
Just a great conversation. Great
to know I'm feeling
conversations.
very
Loads.
depressed.
All that. To be fair, his dad died like 3 days ago.
Yeah, but
So it's like-
ever.
He's in a dark place especially
3
more
days
than
in
usual.
Zweihander is like a century.
That's true. Considering the expected lifespan here, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, this is great. I can't wait to see what happens next. Combat was actually really interesting. I can't wait to see what happens when any of us actually takes damage as well, because it's gonna be real bad.
Yeah.
No one take any injuries until I have some opium, please. Other than that, yeah, thank you so much. Definitely check out Zweihander. I actually really like the system. It's dense, but like once you get into it, it's super, super cool. As for me, I'm Speedy. You can find me everywhere at Not So Speedruns on Twitch and Twitter. You can also check out Cast Together, which is a community of streamers dedicated to mental health that I help organize. We're currently planning some sort of charity event coming up in February, centered around Valentine's Day, supporting To Right Love on Our Arms, which is a fantastic mental health charity. So definitely check that out. Follow at Cast Together on Twitter and join our Discord for more. That's it. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Love it. And Lydia, how was tonight's game?
I loved it. I love super grimdark, creepy, horrible things. I don't know why. I love it. I'm a weird person. So I loved Charlie being real sad. That's great. I love learning about astrology on the fly as I Google it as this game happens. It's super fun. I am learning so much about all of your astrological signs. But anyways, it was super cool to cast the first spell of the game and have it hit so nicely. That was great. Anyways, that does it for me. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at CastleMacLydia because I play on a Twitch channel that is called CastleMac. We do real life, sitting around the table playing D&D stuff. We do it on Sunday nights at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. We would love it if you would come and check us out. That's all. That's it. That's me.
Fantastic. Last but not least, Ruben, how's that sound, my friend?
That was great. I got to hit really hard. It's going to be tough to top that damage number, I think. Is there like a leveling up system to this game? I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah, we get RP points. I'll do something in the...
It's going to be a while until I get 24, I think, on anybody else. But that was a ton of fun. I'm brand new to the grimdark style. I really like all the seeds that have been planted. I'm glad that we have 16 episodes to explore these characters, to be able to dig into some of that stuff, because there are some conversations I need to have with all y'all. So that'll happen as we get to know each other better. I'm having a fun time though. Oh hi, didn't see you there. I'm Mox Ruby, MoxReuby on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. You can follow me there mostly for Magic the Gathering, some Dungeons and Dragons, and other role-playing games. You can find me on the Magic Mike's podcast, MAGICMICS, on Wednesday nights, live at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, where we cover the week's events in Magic the Gathering. Stay tuned to my channel for the next season of The Broken Pact, which is hopefully happening sometime soon, so stay tuned for those announcements. And you can always catch me on my Twitch stream, which usually, again, is playing Magic Arena.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank you guys in chat for watching, and if you're watching on YouTube, appreciate taking the time to catch the Zweihander here. Can't wait for next week. Can watch it live Fridays, 8 o'clock Eastern every single week. I cannot wait to see what these guys get up to next week. But until then, my friends, we'll see you guys tomorrow at a time of 5 o'clock Eastern for Shadow of the Demon Lord. This is the first episode starting here on the channel tomorrow, so I'm super excited for that as well. But until then, try not to roll too many nat ones. We'll be laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye. Don't catch the play. Bye.